Hi, welcome to the Knits and Beads podcast. I am your host, Lorelei Erdo. I'm a jewelry designer in upstate New York, and I knit in my free time. And this is my little knitting podcast where I also talk a little bit about my jewelry business and sometimes some sewing. I don't remember the episode number, but it will be in the description. It's been quite a while since my last episode. I don't exactly know why it's taken me this long to film another podcast, other than just feeling kind of not really into it or feeling like I don't really have anything to show. I hadn't had any finished objects until this week. I've been working on the same couple of projects for a very long time, just kind of slogging along. I'm not sure if I have. Lately I've just kind of been feeling like I didn't know if I had anything unique to share. There's so many great podcasts out there, and I know a lot of you all watch the really good ones like I do, so I just kind of have been feeling like maybe this isn't what I meant to be doing, but I started pulling out some stuff to talk about today, and I thought there is kind of a lot, so I guess I will jump right in. Put your seatbelts on. This is going to be chock full of stuff, and I'm going to try to go through it all really kind of quickly. So I hope you have a beverage. I don't. I forgot one. So as you can see, I'm filming in a new location. I figured it would be nice to sit in front of this dash today. I'm in my bedroom. The light in here is really great, especially right now because the sun is still kind of rising. Unfortunately, this cabinet has glass doors, so I've opened them to kind of get rid of the glare, but you can still see the reflection here in this door, so sorry about that. Today I am wearing a cardigan that I made last summer. It's Elizabeth. Okay, I'll put it here on the screen for you. It's been a while. It's been in storage. I just recently switched my closet over to spring and summer. So it's just a short sleeve, open cardigan. Really comfortable. I knit it with a fiber company yarn that has a little bit of linen in it, so it's really great for summer. Okay, I'm just gonna jump right in and get through all of this stuff, so I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know you've got a lot of podcasts to watch and knitting to do, so I do have one finished object for this week. Like I said, I had been working only on a few projects pretty consistently, and I hadn't cast anything new on for a while, and then I just got to the point where I was so sick to death of looking at these same two projects. I had to find something else to make. So when I was watching Katie of Inside Number 23 talk about her color field shawl, which is a pattern by Kemper Ray of the Junk Yarn podcast, I fell in love with it. It's a gorgeous pattern. It's using 2 skeins of DK weight. Perfect. I have a ton of DK here to choose from, and I picked out 2 skeins of Primrose Yarn Company yarn that I bought at Rhinebeck last year, and it was perfect. Although in the beginning I was thinking that there wasn't enough contrast between the slip stitch rows and the body, but in the long run I really love how it turned out. So here it is. It's was so fast. Katie said it was fast. I'm she was right. It just flew off of my needles. And I think a lot of it was that I was excited that I was working on something new for a change, and also I was loving the yarn. The yarn is gorgeous. Beautiful. If I could be described in 2 skeins of yarn, it would be this. It would be this. It's like the perfect soft colors. There are speckles of kind of like a terracotta and pink, and then dark specks of like an eggplant, and then there's these sections of really kind of pale green, and then the semi-solid that I used here, and the striping throughout. I think it's called driftwood. Here's the labels. One of them is called the Wanderer, which I think is the speckled, the body color. And then this one is called Driftwood. They are just 100% superwash merino, but so soft. And each skein has 247 yards. This is what I had left. So I wasn't sure how it was going to play out with the bind-offs, so I was very happy to have plenty of yarn. I did not run out. And I had quite a bit of this too. I almost wanted to continue working that. This is the slip rib portion, slip stitch rib. And I was thinking about making it longer, but then I didn't want it to really affect the way the shawl wears, so I decided against it. So now I have, you know, a little wad of yarn left, but you get the idea. It's a perfect size for the spring. It's not super bulky, but warm enough for the cool breeze that we get throughout spring here. But it's so cute. I just love it. I just love it. So I'm very, very happy with that project. I definitely think I want to knit it again. I'm not sure what yarn, and you know, you just never know when things will pop up in stash. I would love to do it with something with this. I'm just not sure what color to pair it with. It's got some really dark, dark red speckles on there, but I'm gonna just grab a tissue because podcasting makes my nose drip. Okay, now my nose is nice and red. Perfect. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my works in progress, which you've seen before, but I guess that's the point of a podcast. You talk about your progress and process, so I will. This is, and by the way, I have no show notes, so if I forget what things are called and what yarn is called and what colors there are, I will put it on the screen in editing, so don't worry, you will be informed. This is the shawl I've been working on for a while, the Ariat shawl by Leslie Ann Robinson, or aka Knit Graffiti on Instagram. It's a brioche shawl that is asymmetrical. It's getting quite big, as you can see. I am working right along, but I still think I have 2, 3, 4 more wedges to go on this. But this is the back. The yarn I'm using is Haven Fiber Arts. And it's a single ply yarn. The white is Snowy Owl, the green is Spring Thaw, and the teal is Spring Thaw, and the green is this. Sorry guys. Yeah. Maybe podcasting's not my thing after all. You know, I don't know. I don't know why this is taking this long. I thought, oh, short rows of brioche, I'll just fly right through that. but it's just really long and it kind of feels like a scarf in that way, and it's really hard for me to knit scarves for some reason. It just takes me a really long time. So I really want to be done with this project, but now it's warming up. It's going to be in the 60s and 70s this week. And a really squishy brioche wool shawl is probably not the ideal thing to be working on right now, unfortunately. But I hate the feeling of like putting this away for the season and picking it back up in the fall. I just feel like I'm not that kind of a maker. I really like to finish things. The other thing I'm working on is a short sleeve sweater. Is this called? Doesn't have a ball attached because I need to add a new ball. I need to wind up a new ball. This is a short sleeved sweater with a lace panel on the back. I'll put the title here and the designer because it's escaping me. This is the back panel. I think I've talked about this before on the podcast, haven't I? I knit this with, maybe I haven't. The panel is knit with the Fiber Company Acadia. And I'll put the colorway on the screen. But it's really super soft, and in fact I kind of wish I had done the body in the same yarn. However, I'm trying to knit from stash, and I had bought the green from Rhinebeck from Scandinavian Weave and Knit, the booth there. I have bought their yarn before. It's really lovely. It's just kind of a beautiful variegated green and brown colorway. I don't recall the name of it. I will put it here on the screen because I don't think I have the label. No, I don't. So as you can see, I'm working on the rest of the body, and then I will pick up all the stitches around the sleeves and the neckline to make kind of a rib. I think it's just a garter rib. But I'm just kind of in that sea of stockinette in the round. It's so boring, oh my god. So, I can't imagine doing a fingering weight sweater. I just can't imagine it. Because this is DK, and I'm in stockinette hell. So, anywho, those are my works in progress. Not too exciting, I'm afraid. Oh, actually I have one more. This project I just started last night, and I'm keeping this in a bag that I recently got from my friend Caitlin of the Wool Jewel podcast. She and I did a bag swap. I sent her an owl bag, and she sent me a little bag from this company on Etsy, Rachel K Handmade. There's her little tag. It's a little linen bag, and the little sheep are appliqued on. There's one on the back. They are so cute. They're inspired by sheep she has seen on trips along the way. It's lined with this really cool spool fabric. I love it. Love this bag. It's perfect. I saw this project as a finished project on Little Bobbins Knits podcast, Danny showed this little mitt. It's like a shower mitt. And she had knit it at the Curious Handmade, one of their retreats. And I just thought it was so beautiful, and it just looks like it had the coolest texture to it. I just imagine it being really great to have in the shower with a nice bar of soap. Here's another picture of it. And it's knit with Quince & Company Sparrow, which I have 2 skeins in my stash because I had bought them a long time ago. thinking I was going to use them for a tote bag pattern, but didn't. So I balled one up and I started working on this last night. And I do have a few things I want to say about this yarn. First of all, I'm knitting this on size 2.5, US 2.5s. It called for a US 3 needle, which I do not have currently available. And so I chose to go down a size only because it said if you're kind of a loose knitter, go down a size. But I went down half a size. I figured that would be good enough. You do the body of the mitt in the US. I will be doing it in US 2.5, but when I pick up the stitches to do the 3 needle bind off, I use US 1 for that, and then I can also use a US 3 DPN for the I-cord loop. It has a loop on the end just to hang it in the shower. So this is what I have so far. I am not super far. I've never knit with Sparrow before. It's extremely crunchy and a little bit hard to get used to, but I'm doing okay. The only thing I don't like is that it's hard to really see the pattern. You can see how loose my gauge is, but I am kind of starting to see it a little bit now, and I think what will happen is when I wash this, the yarn, or so I've been told, will plump up. So the disappointing thing about this yarn is in just this 2-inch band of knitting, I came across 3 knots. That's really disappointing, because if I use this down the road, which I'm going to talk about that in a minute, for another kind of a garment, hitting knots is kind of a pain in the butt, because you have to be really careful when you're weaving in the ends. So if I just cut the knot out and then pick up a new, like start knitting again with another strand of yarn, I just have to be really careful about weaving in those ends so that they don't kind of pop out. So for this, I did not cut the knots out. I just made sure the knots landed on the inside of the mitt or the wrong side of the mitt. It's a bath mitt. You know what I mean? It's not like that big of a deal to have knots, but like I said, for my upcoming project, I'm not going to want to deal with that so much. So that's kind of disappointing. I don't know why there are so many in this particular ball of yarn, but not good. It's not cool. It's not. So I guess that's a warning to you if you are going to be knitting anything in Sparrow by Quilt & Company. Just be aware there could be knots. And there are lots of great tips in this book I'm going to show you in a minute about knitting with linen, and that's where I kind of learned about the weaving in the ends, and they give some other tips and stuff. So anyway, this is my 3rd work in progress, and I think I have another skein of it also wound up. It's kind of a fern color, and I'm going to make one of these for my sister, because she's a big bath nut. I'm not so much, but I do like a good bar of smelly soap, and I think this will be fun to have for that. Another thing that Caitlin sent me with this lovely little bag is a skein of yarn and some other treats that are long gone. She sent me the most amazing Kinder Hippo treats that I wish I had like a box full of them, because they were so good. This is Superba Tweed. It's a German sock yarn. and that's my color wheelhouse right there. Greens and browns, very earthy. I love it. So that'll be fun to knit up a pair of socks. Those are the patterns there that it looks like when it's knit. So thanks, Caitlin, you're the best. So fun to swap. Okay, since I was talking about quints, I'm gonna start talking to you a little bit about some new acquisitions. This is Framework. This is a new book by Nora Gaughan that just recently came out for Quints and Company. And all the patterns in this book are using the Kestrel or Sparrow linen yarns from Quints and Company. And I fell in love with a particular shawl, which is that. I just love it. It's knit in stockinette. It's got some dropped stitches along one edge and then some beautiful fringe. And here's a picture of it. I bought the book along with 3 skeins of Sparrow in this gorgeous teal color called Banyan. I just think that'll look really pretty. The yarn is just really beautiful, but like I said, if I start knitting with this and I come across a lot of knots, I'm gonna be really upset. Hey, I'm just being honest, you know? I don't know how they expect you to knit something. It's bad enough I have to use 3 skeins for a project, you know? I wish that they came in larger skeins, but this is another project I'd love to do eventually. That sweater. I love all the projects in this book, which is why I bought the book. So, like that's so cute and looks so fast to make. So we'll see what happens with that. The reason why I also wanted to do that bath mitt is to get my fingers accustomed to knitting with the linen, because I had never knit with it before. So I will be nice and prepared when I do finally cast on this shawl, which hopefully will be soon. Some other new acquisitions I recently got are some skeins from Ching Fiber, which I showed on my Instagram, but here they are. This one here is Penguin. I could dye. That color is so amazing, and it's totally being washed out right now, but it's nice and bright and beautiful. And this one is the Chusui, I think. It's hard for me to remember now, and I can't barely read that, but it's a colorway that I had looked at in her shop before, and it always sells out really quickly. I got it on the 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon base. However, it's only 382 yards, so I've been trying to find a shawl pattern that will accommodate less than 400 yards, and it's really hard to find one. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I'm probably going to have to pair it with another yarn. And then this one is on her singles base. It's a merino single, superwash merino, and this is 400 yards. Just so fun for summer. I mean, come on, you can't. Some more yarn that I recently got. This is my first time ordering from Hue Loco, and I was really into this color on our website. It's called Dirty Talk. I believe it's reskeined on our website though, so what I saw and what I got seemed a little bit different, but I'm sure that when I knit this up it's going to be exactly like I had envisioned it. I got 2 skeins so that I could do something fun like a shawl. It's just really, really nice yarn. It's on her Boca sock, which is her 100% superwash merino wool single ply. Each skein is 400 yards. And one more. This I fell in love with because, oh my god, look at the color. That's Caitlin's favorite color, and she is always talking about this highlighter yellow. And I love that it's paired with this gorgeous coral color, and the speckles are to die for. This is looking a little loose because I opened it up to look at it. I wanted to see how the color is dispersed, and as you can see, this is how it is. Now this is another one that I wanted to do. I wanted to find a one skein shawl project for. I don't know how that's going to knit up with that section of coral in it, if it's going to be stripy or pool or something, but we'll see how that plays out. I don't know how soon I'll be getting that on the needles, but that's so awesome. Oh, and now I forgot to tell you where it's from. This is the House of a la Mode fiber goods company. The colorway is Summer Club. It's a 2-ply fingering, 80%, 20% nylon, 400 yards. House of a la Mode. That's where it's at. Their yarn, and also Republic of Wool. I am obsessed. I am so obsessed. I see like a little square in my, that must be like where I focused it. Okay, on my phone. Some other yarn that I recently got is a gift from my sister, who last November over Thanksgiving went with her husband and her husband's family to Iceland. And I told her that she had to get me some Icelandic yarn, and she did. So she bought me 2 skeins of this Let Lopi, and the color is kind of a deep burgundy red color, which it just has a color number 1409. It's much scratchier than I thought it was going to be. And 2 skeins of this, which is a really deep hunter green color. Well, thanks, Franny. Those will be fun. I'm thinking maybe some color work mittens for that I'll probably start in the fall for those. Then one more fiber thing, and then I'll go into some sewing stuff. We're flying right through. It's 29 minutes. The way this came about, I had mentioned an interest in learning some loom weaving, and my friend Kate, she's Kate Richburg, KateRichburg.com. I didn't realize this, but has a spinning obsession. So she said, you gotta try spinning. And she said, I actually have some fiber that I'm trying to destash, and I will send you some along with a spindle. And I was like, great. So this is what she sent me. She sent me a beautiful wood spindle. She's not sure where it's from, unfortunately, so I can't share that. If this looks familiar to you in any way, let me know. This, I believe, is considered a top whorl, because I have no idea. I've been watching videos here and there on YouTube to learn. This fiber is just gorgeous gray, like real natural. And then this one is so soft, oh my goodness. And it's from A Verb for Keeping Warm, which I tried to go on their website to buy more, even though I haven't even done it yet, but I love it. It's sold out. So hopefully I can catch an update at some point. It's 100% Targi. It's called Ambrosial. So like I said, I'm a little intimidated. I don't have a knitting knotty, which is one thing you kind of need. Once you get the yarn spun, then you have to unspin it onto a knitty knotty, and that will kind of create a skein, and then you wash it soak it and dry it, and that will set the spin. So look at all the things I've learned. Aren't you impressed? So I'm really looking forward to trying this out eventually once I become not so scared of it. But I guess my fear is that this is really beautiful and I don't want to like ruin it. I don't know if there is some sort of beginner wool roving that I should be using instead of the good stuff. I don't know. If you have thoughts or opinions about that, please feel free to leave comments in the video. But I'm excited to try it. You never know. Maybe I'll be totally into it and I'll be like whipping out skeins of yarn. Another thing I was not sure about is that I don't know how much you would really get out of this. And then how do you knit with such a small amount of hand spun? But maybe it's just the act of spinning it that is what I will want. I don't know. Another work in progress that I have is, I think I mentioned it before, I am participating in the Brooklyn Knit Folk Quilt Along with Jacqueline, and I have since cut out my 6-inch squares and I have sewed my quilt top together, and here it is. It turned out great. Don't look too close because, you know, it's not perfect, but for a scrappy quilt, I mean, I can't be happier, really. I actually made it quite big, as you can see. It's, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's about 14 rows long by 12, 10. It's about 14 by 10. So plenty big enough to snuggle on the couch with. And like I said, this is just the quilt top. I bought some other things for putting it all together. My backing is going to be this sheet. It's just a plain gray. I bought a twin sheet at Target. It's super soft. I love this brand that they sell, the Threshold brand at Target. It's just a plain cotton sheet. And I also bought my batting. And I went with Jacqueline's suggestion of getting the Warm and Natural. This is 90 by 96 inches. It's the full size because I didn't want to be short at all. I also bought some quilt basting spray. I got all of this at Joann Fabrics. I got some double fold bias tape and an eggplant for the edging, and for the ties, an eggplant DMC. And I'm probably gonna have to get some more of this. I only got 4 of them. 4, I don't think it's gonna be enough. So I haven't basted it together yet because I was a little bit nervous after seeing Jacqueline's latest video, just because when she basted the batting onto her backing sheet, it was really wrinkled, and I just don't know if I can combat that as a beginner or not. I know she said she was going to fiddle with it to get it straightened out, and I believe she showed that same quilt in her most recent podcast, and it looked great, so she must have figured it out somehow. Maybe I will email her and ask before I go through that whole process, because you have to basically really secure your sheet down on the floor first using tape and things like that, and it's got to be really nice and taut so that when you baste the spray and then, you know, pat your batting down little by little, it will be nice and smooth, hopefully. I recently got some fabric. I thought I would show you that. This was enabled by my girlfriend Heather, who she had texted me about a week ago or so and said, "Oh my God, have you seen the Ellen DeGeneres fabric yet? It's at Joann Fabrics." And I hadn't seen it yet, so I went online and I looked at it. And I was like, I wonder if they have that at my Joann Fabrics. And sure enough, they did. So I only got one of them so far because it is the upholstery fabric. It's not the cheapest. I just love this. It looks like scribbled writing, but then every now and then you can kind of pick out a word like kindness. Kindness. Happiness. I just think that's really cute. I got a yard of it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I was thinking maybe I would do a purse or some bags or something. So that's kind of new and fun. As far as sewing, I have done up a couple of more of my owl bags, and these are available still in my web store, which is LorelaiUrdo.com, which I, failed to mention at the beginning of the episode, but these are canvas, and I appliqued little owls on the front. They're all fully lined. Each one has a different kind of a lining. This one happens to be, I think they're subway stops in New York. And I recently ran out of my little wood tags, but those are my little wood tags that say handmade by Lorelai. Here's another one. This one's lined with some chevron-y type of batik. I recently found a quilt store right around the corner from my house. It's probably not good. This is a drawstring version of my little owl bag. This little owl's a bit bigger. It's lined. Pull tabs. I put little beads on the ends of the cord. And then, so those are the 3 project bags I have left. And then I made these little notions pouches. These could also hold sunglasses or your unmentionables or makeup or whatever. But I added a little zipper pull. These are lined in the batik. They're kind of a narrow shape. They work great for sunglasses. They're a little different. So these 3 are also available online. And they would be so cute as little matching notion pouches to the bigger project bags. That's everything, 40 minutes. So I hope your head's not spinning at this point. I don't really have any life stuff to share. Business-wise, the only thing new to share is my aunt is actually moving to a new apartment, and she graciously gifted me her whole bead stash. So that was exciting and a little overwhelming because it's everywhere in my studio right now. And I'm kind of trying to work out a process of organizing it a little bit more. But it's been great to kind of accumulate some more beads because it's something that I haven't really been buying a lot of since I started making jewelry full time. I mean, when you start making jewelry full time, the purchases are a little bit more calculated, if you will, and I kind of had a big bead stash when I started, so I really didn't need to buy things other than findings and clasps, chain, stuff like that. So over the last 4 years, I've just been dwindling down my bead stash, and every now and then I'll go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and buy a couple strands of beads for a specific project. But I haven't really bought much in that respect. So, like I said, it's been really great to have some new things to work with. And I wish I could say the business is picking up, but it's not really. So every other week is kind of a roller coaster. I never know what to expect. And that's been really frustrating, as you can imagine. But as a maker, a full-time maker, it's what I have to kind of work with. And now my voice is going, so I'm going to go. You can find me on social media. I'm on Instagram and Ravelry as Lorelei Erdo. You can find my Etsy store with some jewelry in it at loreleierdojewelry.etsy.com. I have tutorials. Get down, get down, get down. You're making a nice cameo in the podcast. This is Kasia. Say hi. You can find my jewelry tutorials, some sewing things on my website, which is loreleierdojewelry.com. And with that, I'm out. So thank you so much for watching. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're brand new, checking me out, I hope you come back again next time. Hopefully it won't be a month before my next recording. See you later.